Hey everyone, Gill Gross here post-match. Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Francis Tiafoe, Wimbledon 2021 first round. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. We have our first carnage of the tournament with Tsitsipas going down to the American in straight sets. Well, some of my attention was diverted for the first half of this match to Novak Djokovic, which I have a post-match video up on as well. But I have to cover this because a big upset, and I'm going to talk mostly big picture, but there were also clear things going on in that match that you could have been watching any portion of the match, and these things were clear, which is that Tiafoe exploited Tsitsipas's backhand in a major way, and he did so with his very unique skill set. But great to see Tiafoe get a big win, which I feel like has been bubbling and brewing throughout the season. He went very far in the Nottingham Challenger, made the final there, played a lot of grass court tennis after going out at Roland Garros, so he had really become acclimated with the surface, and in general is very good at Wimbledon, although he did lose first round last year, got an unlucky draw. I believe he lost to Fognini in 5 sets. But the year before, he was looking primed to make the 4th round and then ended up losing to Karen Khachanov after going up 2 sets to love. And it was in large part due to a stomach bug or a stomach pain that he ended up developing midway through that match and completely turned around the match. He would have been one of the last 16 standing at Wimbledon 2018. It's great to see him back there and much more engaged and focused throughout this 2021 season. We saw it a little bit in Australia against Novak Djokovic. Tiafoe is someone who rises to the occasion, likes playing in front of big crowds, likes playing in front of the best players in the world, and also enjoys playing short points. The grass court suits his game because he's able to serve big, hit his forehand big, but complement that with a lot of great net play. He likes to finish points quickly. He doesn't have great discipline in the long rallies, but he comes to net to finish points. He's got great hands, buttery touch, and the backhand of Francis Tiafoe is built for grass. Very little backswing, stays very low, hits it very flat, underpowered on most surfaces, but on grass, when he can take it early and he can get through the court, use the surface, it becomes actually a really great offensive weapon, and he took advantage of that in this match. Tons of variety, mixed in serve and volley. He's got a good slice, he's got good drop shots. It's really the total package and very fun to watch when he's engaged, which he has been more and more throughout the season. Head coach Wayne Ferreira has worked on his focus, has not allowed him to look at his phone during practice sessions and during massages and physical kind of training blocks. All of those things have been used to train Tiafoe's mind into doing a better job focusing without dips, without gaps for hours and hours on end. On the Tsitsipas side of the coin, this is a rather predictable loss for someone in a difficult spot, coming off of a clay court season where, first of all, he played tons of tennis. He went deep in every single tournament. He played Barcelona, which is like, we've seen how difficult it has been for Nadal to play all the 1000s, Barcelona, and Roland Garros, going deep in everything. We've seen how difficult that turnaround is to play Wimbledon. But you have this time the French Open postponed, only 2-week rest between them. Tsitsipas going deep every single time, also losing his grandmother, and I don't know what effect that could have played on the mental and just how this last 2 weeks have played. I know those two were very close. That's another thing. And then just trying to transition between the surfaces. And you have a guy in Stefanos Tsitsipas who has a return strategy on the clay, which does not work on grass, which cannot work on quicker surfaces, and just has a lot of weaknesses and holes in his game that are exacerbated by the quicker surfaces that he could not have had any time to work on in the time between Roland Garros and Wimbledon, which ultimately he had to be focused on just physically recovering, rather than working on the parts of his game which really do need work if he's going to be a factor on the fastest surfaces. So no grass court warm-ups, trying to recover from a brutally physical clay court season, and facing a difficult opponent in Tiafoe who had tons of grass court practice in the lead up, is dangerous at Wimbledon, dangerous in best of 5, was the perfect storm to kind of create this upset here. But tactically, the only thing I want to highlight is the Tsitsipas backhand and how Tiafoe went aggressive to the backhand and came in behind his aggression to the net, to Tsitsipas's backhand with tremendous effect. And he did so in so many different situations. Whether it be serve volley, serving big to Tsitsipas's backhand and coming in right behind it, taking advantage of that uncomfortable return. Tsitsipas missed way too many second serve backhand returns in this match. Way too many. So serve and volleying to that side. Hitting his cross-court backhand, Tiafoe. Hitting it really hard, really low, really flat, and putting Tsitsipas in a position where he's hitting his backhand below the level of his knees. And Tsitsipas has a very underdeveloped slice backhand. I don't consider it to be good. I consider it to be pretty poor. And he didn't use it very often in this match. Again, I don't think he practiced it much because on clay, he doesn't use it. He doesn't have to use it, and he doesn't use it because the ball bounces up higher. But on grass, when the ball stays low, it's very difficult for Tsitsipas to get down low and hit the topspin backhand, especially at 6'4", 6'5", at that tall stature that Tsitsipas stands. So it'd be much easier for him to slice the backhand, but it is not a good shot for him. It's unnatural. So that's one way that Tiafoe broke Tsitsipas's contact point, with his cross-court backhand staying really low or the slice backhand staying really low. Either way. The other way was with pace. Pace off of the Tiafoe forehand into Tsitsipas's backhand. And if you can, he was able to rush that side. It's a long topspin backhand. It does not respond well to being rushed. Tiafoe takes the ball very early, hits it very hard off the forehand and the backhand, and could create situations where Tsitsipas was making errors off of his backhand or going to the slice because he didn't have enough time. And again, every time it was to the slice, or every time Tiafoe got an aggressive cut inside the court, he was coming in, and Tsitsipas's backhand defense was very, very bad. It was either floating slices, and you can't float a slice if your opponent is coming to net. That's an easy put away every single time. Or it was trying to hit over the ball and at a very high rate mishitting or misfiring. Very high rate for Tsitsipas. So it was a brilliant offensive game plan, really, really good. He ended up serving mostly to the backhand, but using the serve to the forehand as a changeup, as a surprise tactic. And even that wound up being very effective in a couple of really big spots. Tsitsipas couldn't get the return going until the latter stages of the third set, and Tiafoe did a really good job of fighting through those service games and playing clutch and getting those holds regardless. But so many things coming in behind second serve returns with a down-the-line backhand was another play I saw Tiafoe utilize against Tsitsipas's backhand. But ultimately, that side did not hold up. And Tiafoe, sorry, I'm used to calling him Tiafoe, but I hear a lot of people calling him Tiafoe now. So I suppose I got to listen to how he says it, because my whole life I've been calling Francis Tiafoe, and now I'm hearing Tiafoe for a lot. So it's just hard for me to adjust there. But anyway, just a brilliant game plan, just pounding that backhand side, just exploiting it in a really, really big way. Taking away time, keeping the ball low, deadly combination, and serving big to that side as well. And then coming forward to force Tsitsipas to come up with the pass, not letting him slice it because it's going to get punished with Tiafoe at the net. Just a just a deadly combination. All things considered, this didn't feel like an upset. This felt like when these two took the court, the American was the better player. That's all I got. Make sure to follow me on Twitter throughout the tournament at Gill_Gross and subscribe for more post-match analysis like this. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.